Hello and welcome back to my channel. Caroline Marsh here, and we continue with my journey and my story. I hope that you'll be inspired with my story, but I also hope that you'll be able to see that on the inside of you is a remarkable ability of God to turn nothing into something more powerful. So activate your potential. So I talked about properties the other day in terms of how did I get started, and what was my thinking behind getting started into property investments. I actually didn't plan it. I never sat down to think, what, I want to become a property investor and have so many houses. It came as a result of seeking God for direction. And then guess what? I had a divine connection. I met Steve Bolton, who then mentored me as a business mentor. And I'm still in touch with him because he's such a great man. I'm so grateful to God for his life. So anyway, back to property. So what do I do? Or what did I used to do? Because obviously what I've been doing has changed over a period of time. Even though I'm still involved in my other business, I have still moved on as an individual. So initially, when I came back from the business conference in Alicante, I came back to establish a property business that is run as a house of multiple occupation. So what we do is we supply quality, affordable accommodation to working professionals in a particular town in the southwest of England called Swindon. That was the beginning of my journey. So did that for a number of years, and then now, as God has added to our success, moved on to doing developments in Africa, and have again moved on, and right now are working on developments even back here in the UK, doing single buy-to-let properties further up north. Not only do I buy for myself more properties, continue to grow our property business, right now we're also helping other individuals, people who may not have the know-hows, the time to do it. We're helping them establish portfolios. So we do a service called a portfolio building service, allowing investors to get started on the property journey. So what was it that got me started? First of all, my goal was to be able to make some money. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was just like, I've just had enough. I want to do something that is going to empower me to be able to earn money so I can do a lot more, so I can impact humanity, but even improve my own quality of life. There's nothing wrong with that. So I was thinking, how can I change? And that whole process started by having a mentor, Steve Bolton, who helped me establish our property business. And the questions to ask is, did I want to become an active investor or a passive investor? And I want for you to ask yourself the same question. Why? You want to be able to see whether you have what it takes to make things happen. Now, as an active investor, it means that you are actively going to find the properties, refurbish the properties, and have the properties rented out. So you're very much actively involved in the running, day-to-day running of the business. So if your portfolio, for example, is an hour away from where you live or 2 hours away from where you live, the question you want to ask yourself, right, if I have to rent out this particular property, how often do I have to come and, come to the house to come and perform, to come and do some viewings for potential clients? If it's going to take you a lot more time, then think twice, because you may not have the luxury of the time. If you are a doctor, for example, so you have a good earning ability. However, when it comes to you being able to manage your properties, because you're so busy, you may never have the time to be able to manage your properties. And by that, you will fail the business and begin to think it doesn't really work. Well, actually, you maybe just did not evaluate what you were able to do and what you're not able to do. Or you can consider to be either a passive investor, and a passive investor allows the money to work on their behalf. So you do what you are good at doing, focusing on all those things that allow you to be able to earn more money. At the same time, find somebody who has a track record, people who know what they're doing, have systems in place to allow you to grow your portfolio. Of course, there'll be a fee to pay, because nobody will do it for you for nothing. So your job is to ensure you can do your due diligence on those individuals to ensure you can get started quite well. So the one thing that was clear for me was being able to do it. So the only reason I did it actively, it was because one, I was interested in property, not from a place of I want to be a property investor, but because Steve asked me a very important question. Property is about the two P's, people and properties. So you have to have a love for people to serve humanity, and then of course have a property business. Now I love people. If you hang around me, you know I'm a people's person. So I knew there was a gift that I could actually bring to the marketplace, and I could use that gift in negotiation, use that gift in helping others, use that gift in serving, just be me, because that is me. So I then chose to become an active investor rather than a passive investor. So question for you, if you want to consider getting into property investments, do you have what it takes to become a property investor? One question is, do you want to be an active investor? An active investor, it may mean that you have the time to be able to do it and possibly even the money to do it. Or you could be one that has the money to do it and perhaps some time to do it. So you don't need too much time, but you need some time to do it. Or you could choose to be a passive investor who may have the money but no time to get things done. So your job is to identify which category do I want to be in, an active investor or a passive investor. Or you could do a little bit of both and decide, you know what, I do want to become passive but also want to be a little bit more involved in the growing of my portfolio. The choice will be entirely up to you. So once you're clear about whether you want to be actively involved or passively involved, knowing what is involved in running a property business, then of course, that becomes a starting point. So I hope that when I come back on again, you'll be able to hear some more nuggets in terms of now, what does it really entail to become an active investor that is buying HMOs, a house of multiple occupation, or buying your single buy-to-lets. See you, stay blessed, and please don't forget to share with your friends, subscribe on the channel, because I will have some nuggets and you just never know. We could be working together. God bless you and stay blessed.